let's go harvest the garlic. Yesterday I saw one that looked kind of dead, and that's what you're looking for in garlic. You're looking for the ends to be kind of crispy and brown, and then you know the garlic is ripe. Ripe? It sounds weird to call garlic ripe. And then I pulled that one out, and it's been sitting here. And this one's not very well formed, but it certainly is ready. Boy, you can see the red color, can't you? Of this Enchilium red, or I think that's how it's pronounced, Enchilium red. So I think it's time to harvest the garlic. And I looked at my records last year. I harvested the middle of May. It's the end of May. So I think it's time. Let's do it. Let's get the wheelbarrow and let's fill that bad boy up. See how the greens are starting to look a little brown and tired and dry? That's usually a good sign that it's time to harvest your garlic. So I'm going to start pulling it out, and you just kind of grasp it. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. I might have to get the fork. Let's see how easy they come out. Beauty. Isn't that something? And so you can see all the cloves underneath. Now, garlic has to be dried. That'll be the next step. But this beautiful, beautiful fat bulb of garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this whole bed. And then we will have enough garlic for the next year, which just makes me very happy indeed. Well, now the trick is getting it up in the chicken coop. I put it in the eaves of the chicken coop to dry, and I leave it up there for a week. And now that we have this sort of, I don't know if you could see that we made sort of a fence around the chicken coop so that the chickens could free range a little bit more without hurting the vegetables. But it's going to be a trick to get this wheelbarrow in the door. And I guess I need a ladder. Usually there's two of us doing this. I'm all alone tonight. So, well, it's a comedy of errors. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see if that'll stay there. Don't fall. Let me get the ladder. Stay on that side, goose. Gotta make the tiki hut. Coming through, chickens. Might be some worms here that fall down for y'all. Oh, let's see. Oh, here's the problem. I never put it up above the door because then I can't close the door. So that won't work. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. I guess I always just put it above the other sides. Like, like up this way. I guess I always put it up this way. Over here. Right? I think that's what I do. Okay. Let's see if I can do that. Dirt for you guys. So I put the garlic up here because it needs to dry. And the top of this chicken coop is perfect for this purpose. You just keep it up here for a week and the stalks all dry out, and then I can braid it. And then it lasts us usually about a year, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. It just takes a while to do this, to get it all up here. Now it's worth it. Oh, I meant to count too. I meant to count how many. So when I braid it, I'll count it. It's so great having our own garlic. I really cannot express how much we love having our own garlic and not having to buy it. First of all, it's organic. I know how it's been grown. I don't have to worry about it being grown with a lot of pesticides or herbicides, which is great. So that's the first thing. We know how it's been grown. We know that it's clean. Secondly, it just tastes so much better than store-bought garlic. I mean, it has a real flavor to it, not just garlic, but like an heirloom flavor to it, which is super fun. This one's called Enchilium Red. It has kind of red bulbs. Let me show you. See, it has sort of a red cast to it. And boy, it tastes good. When we built this coop, we bought the plans from somebody, and he said in his plans, "This is a great design for drawing your garlic and onions." And at the time, I don't know if we were growing garlic and onions. Maybe we were, maybe not as much. And we were like, really? When he wrote that about the garlic, that it was a good place to dry garlic, we were like, sold! This is the design for us. Because it has this big, deep top shelf that really is perfect for storing garlic and onions. Shallots, in our case, we usually get shallots. So now let's fill up this side. How many can go up here? It does make the coop smell sort of interesting for the week or two that they're up here drying. And it looks just like a tiki hut. All right. That's it. I think I have a little less this year than I usually have. Next year maybe I'll plant 2 beds. Well, I like to give some of it away. All right. So that's it. You can kind of see that side's really full and this side not so much. November to almost June. That's how long that crop takes. November, I think I usually plant it at the beginning of November, and then by the end of May, beginning of June, it's ready to pull. And since it's on the shadier side of the garden, that bed, I'm going to amend it with the last of the compost, and then I'm going to plant some heat-resistant romaine lettuce. So we have some greens over the summer, not just tomatoes. Man cannot live on tomatoes alone. So on my last day of class, we had a raffle and we got to take home some things that had been in the what they call the lath house at the school, at the college, for quite a while. And so this was an apple tree that I chose. It's an unknown apple tree. Someone in a grafting class made a graft here. You can see that graft. And the graft is held, and here's this nice apple tree. So I'm going to go ahead and plant it out here in the front, in the woodland garden, in a spot where it will get a lot of sun, and hopefully start to give some shade to some of these plants that I have here that were originally planted to be in part shade and ended up mostly in full sun. So that's my goal. Now I've dug quite a large hole. I've made a tag, unknown apple, and I'm going to add a little compost to this hole, but I'm curious to see what the roots look like in this thing. Let's see if we can take a look here. Oh, it's really nicely rooted and it's not root bound. That's great. So I'm going to go ahead and plant this, and hopefully a few years, 5 years or so, we'll have, maybe even sooner, we'll have some apples. Come here, I want to show you something. This way. Over here. I feel like that Monty Python, is that the meaning of life? And Monty Python, when he's like, come this way, I'll show you the meaning of life. Here's the meaning of life. At least for me at this moment. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Those are paste tomatoes, the first paste tomatoes I've seen on here. Although, now that I'm down at this level, I can see a lot of little baby tomatoes coming out. Then I look over here. Let's see if I can give you a shot here of can you see that? Can you see those? Yes. Yes, let's see, that's a slicer. There's lots of little tomatoes coming up here, which is very exciting. Cherry tomatoes are usually first to ripen, and we have a lot of cherry tomatoes on the vines, but it's nice to see these big guys too starting to come out. Big guys. So, happy morning. Yeah, here's some cherries. There you go. That's black cherries. Black cherries. Oh gosh, look at this. Look at this. There they are. What kind is that? That's Italian heirloom. I'm out here turning the compost, and look who's helping. I'm moving this pile over to this pile, and as soon as I started digging, Molly and Hermione came over and started helping me out. Nice to have help. Let's open one of these poppy seeds, and you can see what it looks like. So this is the poppy seed pod, and if you open it up, this is California poppy. Look at all those seeds. Now, you can let these naturally reseed in your garden, or you can collect them and hold on to them through the winter, through the summer in a paper bag. And then in the fall, with the beginning of the fall rains, put them out. And then they grow. Isn't that cool? But you have to wait until the seed pods are kind of at the right time. Sometimes they're too, like this is too fresh, so the seeds aren't ready yet. See how they're not black? So that one's not ready. So I picked that too soon. So it's kind of this delicate balance, or you just let them reseed. Just let them reseed on their own. It's one of my favorite flowers.